actually.
Okay,
And
fine. That's what.
because we have to wind up to 4:30 or 4:35, because after
Yeah,
that we have to discuss with the participant regarding validity.
sure,
And
sure. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Thanks, Alisa. Thanks, Didi ma'am. Fine. So let me go ahead and then try to start today's session, which will be all towards our, if I would say, like future of how the cryptocurrency would look like, and then what exactly is this cryptocurrency all about, and what are certain things which we can understand about this cryptocurrency. Okay. So let's go and deep dive into it and understand certain important aspects of it. So before that, let me just very quickly share my screen. Okay. So and then later I'll go ahead with the explanations. Okay, so I hope my screen is visible.
Yes, sir. It is.
Okay, thank you. So yeah, when we talk about cryptocurrency, right, basically why do we actually call this as a cryptocurrency, and why this requirement has come into the picture? Because you may learn any technology, it may be cyber security or a blockchain, or maybe AI or augmented reality or a virtual reality, whatever you are trying to learn, right? The very quick thing which we need to understand is, why are we trying to learn this? Because without understanding that, and if you get to know a lot of things related to the technology, you will never understand the purpose of why you're trying to learn that, those things especially. Okay, so the very important thing what you need to consider today is, why is this blockchain technology important? This part I have already answered, okay, in my previous session when I had with y'all, like how blockchain is important and what are its strong properties and characteristics which actually makes it so strong to integrate with cyber security. So those are all our discussion points in that session. Now what are we talking here is the cryptocurrency, which is indeed the very first application of your blockchain technology. Okay, this is the first application which has come out of this respective blockchain technology. Indeed, if I would say, people got to know about this blockchain technology from this cryptocurrency itself. Okay, now basically, why did this cryptocurrency come into the picture? So before you understand this, what is the cryptocurrency is actually all about? Cryptocurrency means it is a digital currency. Okay, you will not be able to see this currency like your 100, 500 or a 2000 rupee notes which are being present, right? It is not like that. It is more of like your phone pay, okay, or if I would say your digital transactions which you basically do, right? It is more of like that. Okay, so like where you will be able to transfer your money with your digital transactions altogether. Okay, that's how basically this cryptocurrency works, like where you will not be able to see the money, but definitely there would be a digital transactions been happening. Okay, it may be a Bitcoin you take, or a Ethereum, or a Litecoin, any cryptocurrency which you take in the world right now, everything works in a digital transaction, same as like your phone pay, your Google Pay, and all those type of transactions, your Paytm. That's how your money wouldn't be able, you can't able to see that hard, like if I would say hard copy wouldn't be there. So your every money and all the things would be digitally transferred. In the same way, cryptocurrency also works, but we can call it as a digital currency, right? Why do we need to call this as a cryptocurrency then? See, basically, as this is a digital currency, so we have to make sure that we're taking an extra care. Without taking an extra care, what is going to happen? You know that there are hackers in and around. So definitely they would come in and they can snatch the entire currency within one go. And obviously people will lose trust and they will not gain confidence, and they wouldn't be able to use this cryptocurrency. So that is the reason why crypto was being added to the currency. Now when I say crypto, right, it means it is your cryptography. Okay, now here what it indicates, it is your cryptography. So all the currencies which are being present in the world right now, they are all being cryptographically encrypted. So one of the algorithm which I explained to you is the SHA-256 algorithm. So every currency uses certain algorithms. It's not like every time we need to use SHA-256. There are some algorithms like KICAC 256 bit. Okay, it's up to you like what algorithm you want to use and how you want to make sure that your currency is cryptographically encrypted. Okay, so that's where we need to think of like what are those things which we need to consider, especially in terms of cryptography to encrypt our currency. Okay, so that no hacker or no third party, if when they try to attack, right, it would be very difficult for them to do it. That is the reason why we call this basically as our cryptocurrency. The currency which is being cryptographically encrypted. Algorithm, it is up to you like what algorithm you want to choose. Either it may be SHA-256 or a KICAC 256 or any algorithm. The main concept here is to make sure that our currency is encrypted by cryptography so that nobody would be dare to attack this currency. Okay, that's how this cryptocurrency is actually called as. Now, all of a sudden, why world is revolving towards this cryptocurrency? Why are we discussing this? Why are we taking our time and trying to understand this? This is also one more important point which all of us need to consider. Okay, so basically what happened is in the year 2008, okay, I went back to the year 2008. So in the year 2008, what has happened is you could observe that there was an economical recession which has happened. Okay, so what happened in this economical recession? So you could observe that in this economical recession, right, many people's jobs were being lost, and then there was a lot of layoffs being happening at the organization level. What was the main reason behind it? Because the banking system which was there, right, it totally got shattered. One of the major bank in New York called as a Lehman Bank, it got bankrupted. Okay, because the main reason here is banks didn't operate appropriately, due to which there was a big economical recession because the money circulation in the market was totally stopped. Okay, there was no money which was being able to be circulated in the market, after which what has happened is there was nothing which was actually being present in the market like money and all. So obviously there was an economical recession which has happened. Okay, and then what has happened after which, if you could closely observe, then as there was no money in the market, right, all the projects were being stopped. Okay, and funding stopped. So when there is no projects, there is no money. When there is no money, there wouldn't be any money to pay to the employees. So automatically IT organizations faced big issues. You could see that many people will have lost their jobs in the year 2008, that is in the economical recession. Then what happened is, who made a mess? Banks made a mess. Because of the banks only we face the issue. Which sector faced the biggest issue? It is your IT sector. Now everyone wants to get rid of bank, but they don't know what they have to do it. They don't want to use the bank as a third party or intermediary, because when they are losing their business, IT people are facing the issues because the money circulation is being done by the banks. Now every one of them have a thought that let's get rid of this banking process, but no one knows how. So then what happened is, again in the same year only, 2008, that is in the month of October. Okay, that is in the month of October 31st, same year 2008, there was one person. Okay, there was one person who came into the limelight at that particular time. So it was none other than, actually it is your Satoshi Nakamoto. Okay, so Satoshi Nakamoto came into the picture and he said that, hey, I understand that every one of you don't want to use the bank as a third party or intermediary. That is really a good thinking. Because of the bank only we have faced the big issue. Now what am I trying to do is, let me come up with a cryptocurrency, his own cryptocurrency he created, that is the Bitcoin. Okay, he came up with his own cryptocurrency called as the Bitcoin, and then he introduced to the world one important concept which is still now actually very popular, that is P2P. Now when I say P2P, what is actually the P2P in this case? P2P here means it is your peer to peer. Okay, P2P in this case means it is peer to peer. Now peer to peer means what it is. Let me say there is a person called as X, and then and at the other end there is a person called as Y. So now what happens is, if X wants to send some amount of money to Y, traditionally we will talk first. So can X send the money directly to Y? No. If it is a liquid money, that is okay. 100 or 200, whatever notes you have, if that person is in front of you, you can give away that money. That is okay. But if you want to do a digital transaction to another person, whom we call here Y, can you settle the transaction? No. I will say you the reason why no. Because even though you have money in your account, you will not be able to send that money directly to Y, because in between X and Y, there is one person who is sitting, that is your bank. Until and unless your bank doesn't settle the transaction, you will not be able to pay any amount to anyone. So what is going to happen here is, when X wants to transfer some amount of money to Y, in this case, what is going to happen? X needs to connect to a particular bank, like where his money and everything is present. And then the bank is going to settle the transaction on behalf of the X to Y. That is how generally the mechanism would work like. Now, let me say if your bank servers are not working and you need to send the money, very emergency situation it is. Now, would you be able to settle it? No. Even though you have money in your account, you can't do anything provided if your bank servers are not running. Then you are excessively dependent on the banks. You don't have any other option available over here. So we have to stick to the banking policies and their whatever mechanism which they are trying to have in the form of rules. So now Satoshi Nakamoto, who is the inventor of the Bitcoin, who came up in the year 2008, because of the problems which were being created by the entire banking industry, if I would say. Now he says that, hey, let's get rid of this banking process altogether. Your bank, your MasterCard, your Visa, let's get rid of them. Don't involve them in the transactions. See, as we are involving them, they are acting as an authority. Okay, they are ensuring that they are taking our entire rules. Even though they have our money, they are ruling us. That's what Satoshi has said, that he has explained in his white paper, saying that let's get rid of this totally, these intermediaries, and who is actually been playing a vital role between you and me when I'm settling the transaction. So everything should be peer to peer. Here X is one peer, Y is another peer. So always there should be a peer to peer transactions being happening, so that the transactions can be settled very quickly. Okay, so this is how you should observe that there is no third party or intermediaries are being involved. And whenever if I want to send some amount of money, then that should be within you and me only. That's it. Now, if you observe here, if there is X and Y, if X wants to send some amount of money to Y, it should only be within X and Y only. That's it. There should not be any third party or intermediaries being involved. Okay, so this is a very important thing which we actually need to observe over here. Okay, so when we talk over here, this is the important thing which we actually need to consider. Like whenever if you want to go ahead and try to think about having this cryptocurrency aspect here, right? So this is one of the important consideration which we need to take in. Okay, so I hope I have provided a clarity to you, like how did this come into the picture? So what is that white paper which is being present? So if I would just try to show you, here is the white paper, okay, which was written by Satoshi Nakamoto. Okay, basically, if I would say in the year 2008, okay, a peer-to-peer electronic cash system, Bitcoin, like where you will not be having any third party or intermediaries being playing a very vital role. Okay, so this is the entire paper which has explained, and in this paper actually he has brought up this blockchain concept altogether. Okay, from this paper only, many industrialists, many organizations have found out that whatever the coin which Satoshi Nakamoto has created, that is Bitcoin, under this there is a technology called as blockchain. That peer-to-peer which I'm saying, right, removing the third parties and intermediaries in between you and me when we are trying to settle the transaction, even that concept is also been extracted from the blockchain altogether. Okay, that's how in the year 2008 Satoshi came in. Now you may think in your mind, Satoshi Nakamoto would have given the concept directly, right? Why did he create his own coin called as Bitcoin and he's trying to explain all these concepts? The reason here is, if you want to explain, see, I may have an idea, and you may also have an idea. Okay, so in this case, what the important point which we actually need to consider here is, both of us may have an idea over here, but the point is somebody needs to execute it. Without executing, then there is no point in having an idea. So what he understood is, let me say if I give this idea, obviously no regulatory body or no bank will accept it. You're saying them to totally get eliminated in the process. So obviously regulatory bodies like RBI or US Federal Bank, they can't say that, okay, we will remove from the transactions and you do the business. He knows it very well that they are not going to accept it. That is the reason why he created his own coin in such a way so that there would not be any tensions. He can go ahead and try to create his own way of doing the transactions with his own coin called as a Bitcoin. So Bitcoin is right now a global cryptocurrency where it doesn't require any banking, where it doesn't require any third party or intermediaries. If I have one Bitcoin, I can settle this Bitcoin to another person directly without the involvement of any banking in the process. That's how he has come up with his own coin, by explaining his entire concept in the white paper. Okay, that's how Satoshi Nakamoto has highlighted because of the major challenges in the year 2008. Okay, that's how all this concept has come into the picture, and I just want to give you a small gist of it, like how it is popular and what are certain things which we actually need to consider related to it. Okay, now when we talk about the Bitcoin, right, here many of the people are actually being confused. So why they are confused here is, if I would say blockchain, every one of us know that this is the technology. Okay, under this blockchain technology, there are a lot of applications which are being present. Okay, some of the applications here are, if you could see, Waves, Ethereum, Bitcoin, Neo, Ripple, and in this way in the world there are approximately like 18,000 applications are being present. Okay, but the point which I want to make you understand here is, many of the people, they believe that blockchain and Bitcoin are same, but indeed I would say they are actually not the same. Okay, so what happens here is, blockchain is actually your technology and Bitcoin is your application of your technology. Indeed, we can say that Bitcoin is our the first application, after which Ethereum, Waves, and all of those things have come into the picture. Okay, but the important point which we need to consider from here is, blockchain is your technology under which we have the various applications, and Bitcoin is also one of the application of your blockchain technology, which we actually call it as our first application. Okay, so this is a very important point which we actually need to consider over here. Okay, and then what I want to highlight it over here is, as we know that blockchain is our technology and Bitcoin is our application, you can also correlate the same in this way. For example, you have your Windows operating system. Now, can you say that your Windows operating system and your PowerPoint, Excel, and Word all are same? Obviously, they are not. The reason here is the operating system which is being present here. Okay, this is your, okay, whatever the Windows which is there, right? Or Windows or Ubuntu or whatever you take, that is your operating system. Under this, there are a lot of applications being present. If it is Windows, like we have a Word, we have a PowerPoint, so many things like this, it would be there. Now, these are all are the applications of your Windows. In the same way, here also, blockchain is your technology under which we have multiple applications. So in this case, please don't get confused that Bitcoin and the blockchain are same. No, Bitcoin is your application of your blockchain technology. Indeed, we can also say that it is your first application of your blockchain technology. Okay, so I just want to make it very clear that if you have that confusion, please get rid of it. Okay, the next one, if you could observe here, okay, this is, if you could see towards the left hand side, we all know that the founder of the Bitcoin is who? It is your Satoshi Nakamoto. Okay, which I've already cleared it when I was starting this particular presentation. But the point which you need to consider here is, Times Magazine has declared Man of the Year as Satoshi Nakamoto. What is the reason behind it? The reason is because of his discovery, because he has discovered such a way like where it is been very popular and Bitcoin value is really high, and at the same time its applications have also increased a lot because of its potentiality and because of the technology where like this Bitcoin which is being there, right? It is the application of the blockchain technology, so obviously it is going to have a high popularity. But the point which I want to highlight here is Satoshi Nakamoto is not known to anyone. No one in the world till today knows who exactly is Satoshi Nakamoto. Okay, no one, so many agencies, intelligence agencies and all, they tried a lot to find out who this Satoshi Nakamoto is. Only thing what they got to know is that this person belongs to Japan, that's it. But after which there is no clue that whether Satoshi Nakamoto is alive or whether he is dead. No one knows about that information. But as of now in the world, his identity is not yet revealed. When he was writing the paper, he just said Satoshi Nakamoto. We don't know whether it is a team name or an individual name or who is that person. Nothing is known to us. That is the reason why, if you could observe, Times Magazine has declared Man of the Year as Satoshi Nakamoto without knowing who he is. Okay, see at the eyes, so there is nothing being present because we don't know how that person looks like. Okay, his identity is not yet revealed till now. So that is one of the point which we all of us need to understand. And he is pseudonymous. Okay, only his name is known to us. So that is the reason why it's called as pseudonymous. Otherwise, it would have been anonymous. Like even if the name is also not there, then we wouldn't have even get a small information. As the name is there as Satoshi Nakamoto, so we basically call it as pseudonymous. Okay, like where at least we know the name, and apart from that we don't even have a single information. Okay, like how that person looks like and whether that person is present right now or not. All this information is not there in any of the intelligence agencies or nor with us. Okay, only thing what the intelligence agencies have found out is that this person may belong to Japan. That's also not confident, may belong to Japan. Okay, so this is how we have to understand that the like Bitcoin founder who is present, right, his identity is actually not revealed. Okay, and then along with that, if you could observe here, as I already have mentioned in my previous session in the blockchain in integration with cyber security, right? So there I have very clearly mentioned that blockchain is all about distributed and decentralized. Okay, so by just seeing this picture, you can be able to understand that here all the data which is being present, okay, every data is actually being distributed among all the individuals who have been present in the network. So all of them, they will be having their active system in front of them. So that is nothing but a node. What did I say? In every node, the data will be equally distributed. Okay, and then you will not be having a single server. Everything here will be decentralized. The same you could be able to see it in the form of a picture over here. Okay, it's all about your distributed and decentralized mechanism. Okay, so if I just move ahead a little bit, so then we have something called as our Bitcoin's monetary policy. So when we talk about the Bitcoin's monetary policy over here, right? So what are two things which you need to consider as part of our monetary policy? Okay, there are two important things which we need to consider. Like generally, if you know about financial aspects, you know that RBI has its own monetary policy. Okay, so which would be done every quarterly. So in the same way, Bitcoin also has its own monetary policy. Now you may think in your mind, okay, in the banking, RBI takes care of it because RBI is a regulatory body. But in the Bitcoin's monetary policy, who is going to take care of all these things? You know that there is no banks, there are no third parties, there are no intermediaries. Then who is going to take of this Bitcoin's monetary policy and all these things? So it is taken care by the Bitcoin software. Okay, the Bitcoin software will run automatically on its own. It is not going to create any problem nor any issues over here. So Bitcoin software will automatically take care of everything on its own. Now, who created this Bitcoin software? It's very quite obvious that Satoshi Nakamoto has created it. Satoshi Nakamoto in the year 2008, when he has created his own coin called as Bitcoin, right? At that time itself, he has created the Bitcoin software, and he created it in such a way, the algorithms and everything, whatever he has created in his Bitcoin software, is been working today without any sort of errors or any issues. Such is the level of efficiency with which he has created this software and ensured that everything is been running in a smooth way. Can we also have something called as our Bitcoin community? So right now the Bitcoin community is handling this entire Bitcoin software by ensuring that no hackers, no third party or somebody who wants to do any changes, Bitcoin community takes care, making sure that nobody would try to hamper the software, which is already created by Satoshi Nakamoto in the year 2008. Okay, that's how the Bitcoin's monetary policy is being created by the software itself. And the Bitcoin monetary policy has two important aspects in this case. One is your halving and another one is your block frequency. Okay, let's understand what is the first one, and then later we would move on to our second one. So if I go ahead with the halving mechanism, halving is very simple. The name itself says it is halving. Okay, so the name itself says that it is halving, that means half. Okay, so now when I say that it is halving, right? Okay, halving means it is half, right? What exactly does this indicate? So this is an algorithm. Okay, this algorithm was actually written by Satoshi Nakamoto in his Bitcoin software. Now, what is the algorithm here is, in the year 2009, that's when the first block was being created. Okay, so now what is happening? For example, you know that RBI, which is present, right? RBI mints its own coin. Okay, RBI mints the currencies, minting of the currencies and the coins would be done by regulatory body like RBI. Okay, you don't have, no other banks have the provision to mint the money. So RBI has that facility to do it over here. Now what happens in the Bitcoin's monetary policy, that in the Bitcoin software? So in the year 2009, the first block was being created, which we call it as our Genesis block. The first block was created, and till year 2009 to 2012, that is your 4 years. Okay, down the line, if you could see from 2009 to 2012, that is your 4 years, what was happening is the reward which was being provided to the miners were 50. That means, let me say you that in the world we need Bitcoins. How can we get those Bitcoins? Now, for example, if you take normally, we see that we need 2000 rupees, we need 100 rupee, we need 500 rupee. Now, when we need that, who is going to create it? RBI. That's very obvious, because RBI is responsible for minting it, and they will do it because that is their job. In the same way, here also there is Bitcoins present. Now, where are those Bitcoins present? In the Bitcoin software. In the Bitcoin software, there are Bitcoins present. Now, who is going to bring those Bitcoins out so that the circulation can happen and people can invest? Okay, then what happened is, if you could observe this carefully, Satoshi Nakamoto said that, okay, if you want the Bitcoins to get out of the Bitcoin software, then get involved in the mining process. Do a mining process and then take the Bitcoins out from the Bitcoin software. Satoshi Nakamoto is the founder of the Bitcoin, has made it very clear. If you want to make sure that the Bitcoins are being thrown out into the market, and if you want to circulate it, then do a mining process and make sure that you get extracted the Bitcoins out from the Bitcoin software. Great. Then people said, yes, we will do it, not an issue. But he kept one more condition here, saying that you need to play a game. Okay, basically what happens in the real life, we know that RBI is responsible for it and RBI will do it. But in this case, there is no banks, there are no intermediaries. Then how will we understand that who is going to make sure that those Bitcoins are coming out of the Bitcoin software? So he said that for every 10 minutes, let's have one round, like a game. And who is going to win that game, right? They will be eligible to bring those Bitcoins out from the Bitcoin software. Simple. Again, I'm trying to repeat. What am I trying to say here is, Satoshi Nakamoto has very clearly said that in his software, okay, anybody who is eligible to extract the bitcoins out from the Bitcoin software, you are welcome. But for that, you need to follow certain rules. First thing is, you need to involve in the mining process. Mining process is nothing but it's very simple. Okay, in the mining process, what is going to happen here? Whenever you will be getting a chance, okay, you have to go ahead and try to win a game. You have to participate in the game and win the game. The moment you win the game, then only you will be allowed to go ahead and try to take the bitcoins out from the Bitcoin software. Now all of a sudden you may think in your mind, what is that game? Okay, how this is being done? Now I'm little bit confused here. I want to get some clarity. Then I will make it very clear to you over here. Simply, mining game is nothing but finding out a random number. Okay, the mining game is all about finding out a random number. That's it. So let me say just an example. There are around 60 people being present right now. Now I would say, let me say I am the software. Assume it. Okay, I am a software. Now let us say that I have some number in my mind, which I will not say to any one of you, because if that is said, then that's not a game, because everyone will get to know. Let me say I have some number in my mind. Now I would request every one of you, that 60 people are being present here, I will say y'all, go ahead and try to guess the number which is being present in my mind. I will listen to every one of you what you are trying to say in the form of a number. The moment someone says the number which is being present in my mind, I would immediately say that yes, this is the number which I was expecting and you are the winner. So the person who is going to crack the number first which is being present in my mind, that person will be declared as a winner. Now if you bring that to the Bitcoin world over here, there is a Bitcoin software which is going to set the number for every 10 minutes, a unique number. Now all the miners will go ahead and they will try to find out a lot of numbers, and among those numbers, if the number matches with the Bitcoin software, right, they are set to be declared as a winner. Okay, they are set to be declared as a winner, and only that person will be able to get some rewards because of his efforts. Now whatever the reward that person is going to get, that is from the Bitcoin software is going to get it. That is how the money is coming out from the software. Again, I'm trying to say, because it's a very simple thing, you just need to understand the analogy over here. Okay, the analogy in this case is, if I would just go ahead and try to make you understand one more time, let us say that there are 60 people present here. All of you would try to go ahead and find out that number. Okay, now what number it is? The number which is present in my mind, a random number. Every one of you would try to find out that number, and the number which matches with the number which is present in my mind, I will say that person as a winner. And the person who does this first, I would declare him as a winner. Rather than waiting until everyone says, I am not going to wait whether everyone will say it or not. I am just going to wait until the person who is going to say first the number which is present in my mind. That person, I will say that you are the winner, and for whatever effort you have kept in order to find out that number which is present in my mind, I will give you some rewards for it in the form of a Bitcoin. So basically, the people who were been involved in this mining process and who have found out that random number, they used to get 50 Bitcoins. Okay, they used to get 50 Bitcoins from the year 2009 to 12. That is within 4 years. They used to get 50 Bitcoins at that time when the Bitcoin was actually new. And after which, from 2012 to 2016, that is again the next 4 years, the value became half. From 50, it became half, that is 25. Now from 2016 to 2020, if you observe, okay, that is again 4 years. Okay, so let me just go here. That is again 4 years. So in this 4 years, 25 by 2 again, that is half, 12.50. So from 2020 to 2024, that is again the next 4 years. Currently we are in 2022. So 12.5 divided by 2, that is 6.25. So the reward which is being provided to the miners right now is 6.25 bitcoins as of now till 2024. Again next 4 years, that is 2028, the value will become half and it will become 3.125 bitcoins. So in this way, what is going to happen is gradually as you move ahead, okay, the value is going to become half. Okay, so this is the halving mechanism, what we call it as. The algorithm is designed in such a way that for every 4 years, the value which is being given as a reward to the miner in the form of a Bitcoin will be halved. So like this, if you keep on going, right, somewhere you have to stop. There should be somewhere an end, like where your bitcoins will be totally exhausted. So that is probably in the year 2140. Okay, in the year 2140, there wouldn't be any bitcoins which will be left, which you can be giving as a reward to the miner. Okay, so basically in the year 2140, you will not be having any rewards. Okay, there wouldn't be any rewards which would be given for the miner to find out that random number in the Bitcoin software. Then you may ask me, then how would the miner survive? Then they will be surviving only on the transaction fee. That's it. They don't have any other thing with which they can survive. Only thing which is being left over for them is to make sure that their transaction fee is being collected. That's it. And they don't have any other option. And total bitcoins which are being present in the Bitcoin software is 21 million bitcoins. Okay, there are total 21 million bitcoins which are being present in the Bitcoin software, and among them, almost as of now, approximately 18 million bitcoins are already present in the market. This is already in the circulation. The rest of the remaining thing, that is 3 million bitcoins, are being present in the software yet, and they are being extracted out in the form of a mining process. That's it. This is the analogy which all of you need to understand when you talk about Bitcoin. Now you may think in your mind, is it the only mechanism being applied for Bitcoin or for other cryptocurrencies also? Other cryptocurrencies also will have this mining process. Without having the mining process, right, you will not be able to generate those cryptocurrencies. Okay, so mining is very important. Here and there, small changes would be there, but the concept will not differ. Either you take any cryptocurrency, it may be, right, the concepts will definitely not change. Only thing here and there, some terminologies may change, but the final concept which is being present related to this mining process is not going to change. Okay, this is a very important thing which all of us need to consider. So what am I trying to say? Mining is a process like where we can make sure that our bitcoins are being circulated in the market from the Bitcoin software. So basically what is happening over here in the mining process, you are trying to find out the random number which is set by the Bitcoin software, and the person who is going to crack that particular number quickly, the first person, so that person will be declared as a winner by the software, and then the software will in return give some amount of reward to that miner. Now how it is going to give the reward to that person? Based on what year you are in. Right now if we are in 2022, and if the person is declared as a winner, then that person will be issued 6.25 bitcoins as a reward. And if that person, again, if he wins in the year 2027, then he would be given 3.125 bitcoins. So gradually what is happening in the halving mechanism, that is how the algorithm is been designed by Satoshi Nakamoto. So if you observe here, every 4 years, as and when the 4 years are been moving, the value which is being given as a reward to the miner is becoming half. Like this, if you keep on going doing half for every 4 years, right, the final value which will come here is, if I would say, so it is like, if you do go ahead like that, by the year 2140, okay, so if you see here, by the year 2140, you will not be left with any more bitcoins which you can give as a reward to the miner. There is no other option left. Then how are the miners going to survive? They are going to survive solely on the transaction fee. They don't have any other option left. Total money in circulation is 21 million bitcoins, which are being present in the software. And how that is being released every 4 years, what is happening? The value is becoming half, and the money is being circulated out to the market by giving the reward to the miner. Okay, and then approximately as of now, already 18 million bitcoins are being circulated in the market. Now remaining 3 million bitcoins, it would take up to the year 2140 for that to be fully exhausted. This is how the Bitcoin's monetary policy is being highlighted, and this is how it has gained a wide popularity, because it runs everything on its own rather than any organization running it out. Okay, and then the block frequency, the average time for the Bitcoin block to fall inside the blockchain is 10 minutes. Let me say already there is an existing Bitcoin blockchain. Now for the next block to fall inside the blockchain, right, it would take approximately 10 minutes because of the entire mining process and understanding that, and then finding out the right person. So basically it would take a lot of time. Now in the case of Ethereum, it is approximately 15 seconds is sufficient. In the case of Ripple, we just need 3.5 seconds over here. And in the case of Litecoin, we require 2.5 minutes to make sure that our block would fall inside the blockchain. So this is how the block frequency is very much important in order to know that when to insert the block inside the blockchain and what is the approximate time it would take for the block to fully settle inside the blockchain. Like if it is for Bitcoin, it is 10 minutes. If it is for Ethereum, it is 15 seconds. If it is for Ripple, then it is 3.5 seconds. If it is for Litecoin, 2.5 minutes. Apart from this, there are so many other cryptocurrencies are also which are being present. But if we keep on talking about other cryptocurrencies, then this entire session will also be insufficient for us. Okay, that is the reason why I have just brought out something which has been wide popular right now. So this is how you have to think that what is their average block time for the blocks to fall inside the blockchain. Okay, so this is how the block frequency is actually very important for us to understand. So now moving on to the next important aspect in this case, that is our mining pools. So when I talk about the mining pools over here, right, what exactly is the mining pools in this case? See, basically you can do alone as a mining. For example, the same example I will take. There are 60 people. Now, all of you are trying to do individually and you're trying to find out the number which is being set in the Bitcoin software. Now, I would say that if you do it individually, right, it would take a lot of time. Okay, because here it's all about computation power. You're not using your brain. Okay. Just give me a minute. Okay. Yeah. So if you could observe here in this case, right? So basically in the large mines, okay, when you do it alone, your efficiency, whatever is there, right, it is less. Your efficiency is less here because here you need to have a high computation power. See, you're not using your intelligence here. What you're doing in this case, you're just making sure that you're speed enough to find out the numbers which is being set by the Bitcoin software. That's it. You're not using your brain. You're not finding out any pattern. You're just seeing that, okay, if you have a very high computation power, you can make sure that you can find out a lot of numbers. Among that, if any number matches with the software, you will be declared as a winner. That's simple. But the point which I want to make you understand here is your computation power which is present, right? That computation power should be very high. And if you do individually, definitely you'll have a good computation power, which I would agree with you. But the point is, if you do as a team, your efficiency will be still more than you working as an independent miner. Okay, there's a lot of difference. Working as a team, because as a team, you'll have a lot of people and a lot of equipments will be there. And obviously your efficiency will be more. But as an individual, if you work, right, then you will be having only one system with you and your efficiency may be high or may not be high at that time. Because as long as your computation power is high, you can go ahead and try to make sure that you can just go ahead and win that particular number, which can be set, which can be matched with your Bitcoin software. Okay, but the point which I just want to highlight here is I will just try to explain it with an example so that you can understand it in a much better way. If you observe here, okay, so basically this is one of the world's largest Bitcoin mines. Like you can see that how the Bitcoin mining would generally look like. See how the sheds are being arranged. Okay, in this sheds they have all the hardware equipment which they have set it up. I'll just try to show it to you. See here inside those sheds, right, there are entire racks which are being present. Okay, so in these racks, if you could observe, all these hardware equipments and everything is being laid here. Okay, and then if I gradually move down the line, see how everything is being interconnected. Okay, and they have a coolants because you know that enormous amount of heat will get generated out. So all those heat should be emitted. Otherwise, due to that heat, it may also blast the trash which is being thrown out. Okay, this is how the hardware equipment looks like where they will try to connect your laptops and ensure that the computation speed will increase. And as the computation speed increases, you will have a very good chance to go ahead and try to match that number very quickly with your block. Okay, with your Bitcoin software, if I would say. And then see here, this person is very much busy and engaged in the mining process by connecting to all the equipments which are being present over there. Okay, and the cleaning is going on in the racks to arrange those hardware equipments. This is a very close view of your coolants in order to emit the heat out. Okay, this is the front office. Okay, this is again a trash which is being thrown out. See here how they have been very busily engaged with making sure that all those hardware equipments are arranged appropriately. Okay, and see how they are trying to arrange it in the form of racks. Okay, these are the coolants again. Okay, see this guy, how busily he's been involved in the mining process altogether. And finally, everything is being set up with the main connection. Okay, and then these are the keys. People do stay there. Okay, people do cook their food and they live there and so they eat. So this is the world of the miners. Okay, so this is not so simple. It involves a lot of things being present as a mining process. And imagine that if you do individually, would you be able to compete with them? Okay, because of the setup which they have set it up, it is in China actually. Okay, because of the setup which they have done, do you assume that if you do individually, you will be able to cope up with them? It's very, very difficult. Not very, I can say it's extremely difficult. That is when all the individual miners, they formed as a team in order to compete these large mines, because obviously these large mines have such a great setup. Every time they only used to find out that particular number which is set by the Bitcoin software. Now these individual miners, they thought that if it is the scenario, then every time these large mines only will win because of the huge infrastructure. So all these individual miners, they gathered, and then what did they do? They started forming the groups. So right now in the world, the mining is happening in the form of groups. Now let me say this is your team A and this is your team B. In this way, in the world, the mining pools concept has come into limelight. Okay, like where there are pools, like pools in the sense like where everyone is being formed in the form of a team, and then they are trying to do the mining process. Then the reward which is being coming to that team, right? Let me say if A team won, then they will get 6.25 Bitcoins as per the halving mechanism right now till 2024. So those 6.25 Bitcoins will equally be contributed among the team members. Okay, so whosoever team members who have been present over here, right? All those Bitcoins will be equally distributed among themselves. But if you do independently and if you would have won, right, then all the 6.25 Bitcoins would have belonged to you. But right now as a team, we are working, either you make them win or either someone make you win. Everything would be distributed equally because we are working in the form of a team. Okay, and then later what happened is even the large mines who are being present, which I've shown you right now, right? Even those large mines also have started joining the teams. because they understood that all the individual miners have formed teams and they have started giving the competition to large mines. So large mines also thought, okay, that let me also go ahead and try to join them so that it would be helpful. So that is the reason why in the world right now, okay, in the world, what is happening right now, the entire mining is done in the form of a mining pools. In the form of a team, the mining has been happening. Okay, this is also one of the important point which we actually need to consider over here. How much computing power is required means, if I would say, I can just try to show you that particular thing over here. See, so in order to do mining, what did I say? We require computing power. So for that, you can't use your normal laptops. Okay, you can't use the normal CPUs which have been present in your computers or in your laptops. That will not be helpful for you. See, basically CPU gives you less than 10 megahertz per second. Okay, so that means at one point of time, basically from the year 2009 to 12, because at that time no one knows about Bitcoin, so people used to do mining with the normal CPU only. That is with the normal laptop they used to do mining. You don't require any additional hardware equipment at that time. See, how did the computation power gradually increased? Many people got to know about Bitcoin. They know that, okay, by doing mining easily, they can get the Bitcoins and they can convert that into the local currency and they can earn a lot of money. That's what was the concept. Now, gradually, when people increased, obviously, you know that the competition will also increase. So what basically it is like a competitive examination. Let me say, if there are very less people, you will not be able to see a lot of questions in a tricky way. Okay, and you will not have a pre-screening round and all of those things would not be present because the competition itself is very low. Why would I go ahead and try to do all these things? But let me say, if the competition is very high, let me say there are only 10 posts and then people are having like around 1 lakh or 2 lakh posts have come in, like people have no applied for it, then obviously there is a huge competition and you have to make sure that the rules are very strict in order to filter out the candidates. In the same way here also, as the people got to know about the mining process, everyone want to become a miner and they have become the miners. Now it became very easy, but very difficult for the Bitcoin software to understand that how they can tackle this traffic. So then what did Bitcoin software did? It increased its difficulty, saying that, okay, if you want to go ahead and try to make sure that you win the number, whatever I'm trying to set in the Bitcoin software, right? Then you have to go with something big. You just can't go with a CPU. And if you try to do also, you will never become a winner. So after which, then as the difficulty got increased, as many people have joined, as the competition has gained a lot of traction, then GPU and ASIC came into the picture. Okay, GPU is a graphical processing unit which will be used less than 1 gigahertz per second. It is especially used for your Ethereum mining. Okay, for your Ethereum blockchain, it is being used. For Bitcoin, right, exclusively if you want it for your Bitcoin mining, then you need to use your ASIC. That is, ASIC in this case means it is your application specific integrated circuit. Here you require greater than 1000 gigahertz per second. So the person who has asked me this question, in order to do the Bitcoin mining, and you need to have greater than 1000 gigahertz per second computation speed in order to go ahead and try to win that particular number which is set by the Bitcoin software. Okay, these are the three different hardware equipments which were being used gradually. CPU was used, but later right now it has become obsolete. It is of no more use right now as the competition has been increased rapidly. Right now in the world, the mining is happening with two. That is, one is your GPU, which is your graphical processing unit, and another one is your ASIC, which is your application specific integrated circuit. ASIC, it should be greater than 1000 gigahertz per second, and GPU is less than 1 gigahertz per second. GPU is meant for your Ethereum mining and ASIC is meant for your Bitcoin mining. Okay, these are the hardware equipments which are required for us to go ahead and try to do, if I would say, mining with this type of hardware equipments with a good computation power. Okay, and one more important thing in this case is in the, like, basically if you observe the advertisements, right, in the market there are a lot of fake people who are being present. If you observe here, it says cryptocurrency GPU mining rig. There are three pieces. Okay, 1, 2 and 3, total 3. Okay, and this is the power. Now you know that GPU is meant for what? As I very clearly mentioned, that GPU is only meant for Ethereum. That's it. It is not meant for anything else. And in the same way, ASIC, application specific integrated circuit, is also meant for Bitcoin only. That's it. It is not meant for any other thing. So now if you observe the GPU over here, right? So GPU is only meant for Ethereum. That's it. Now, whereas your Zcash, your Bitcoin and extras which are being mentioned over here, right? Actually, this is a false marketing. So what people would assume, if you don't have a knowledge, you would assume that you can take your GPU and you can use it for Ethereum, Zcash, Bitcoin mining. Basically, if you do it in that way, right, what is going to happen? Your efficiency of the machine will reduce. Even in Ethereum also, you will not win. So GPU is only meant for Ethereum, Zcash, Bitcoin, extras. This is a false concept. So please be aware, especially in the crypto world, there are a lot of scams. There are a lot of people who are being present who actually try to hamper the network. So please don't fall for that. Make sure that you're clear with your concept and you're only using it for your required purpose. If it is GPU, then it is only meant for Ethereum. If it is ASIC, then it is only meant for Bitcoin. That's it. So be very specific and very clear with what you're trying to do. Okay, this is also one more important point which I just want to highlight. And the next important concept in this case is your public key and then your private key. So private key and public key, it's basically, if you could observe these two. Okay, so if you see in this case, right, the private key and public key is like nothing but it is like your account number. Okay, so basically how you have your account number for your identification. If someone wants to send some amount of money to you, so they, you will not be able to say your name, because with your name there may be a lot of people. So you should have some unique ID with you, so that that other person who want to send money to you, right, they can send the money to you directly. So here the public key also acts like your account number. So public key can be shared with anyone, so that using this public key, they will be able to settle your transactions. So in the crypto world, if anybody wants to send some amount of Bitcoins or Ethereum or any other cryptocurrency to you, then you need to often send them the public key. So by sending this public key, what is going to happen is, so they will be able to see this public key and then they can go ahead and try to send the money to you. And then the private key which is present, right, this is very important, and it is a confidential one which you should not share with anyone. Private key is very confidential, and this private key should not be shared with anyone. And you need to make sure that whatever which is being present, this private key, right, it should be very secret with you. For example, you have your net banking, you enter into your net banking and then you have your password for it. Will you be able to share that password with anyone? Definitely you will not do, because if you give access to that, then anybody can enter into your net banking and they would take away all the money which is being present. So better make sure that private key is also same like your password. Like, in order to make sure that if you want to enter into your account, you should not share this private key with anyone. It should be only with you. So basically what will happen in this case, okay, so there would be a sender, okay, and then there would also be a receiver. Okay, there is a sender and then as well as a receiver. So now as a sender, what is going to happen in this case is, let me say a sender who wants to send the money, right, that sender will first enter into his account, that is with a private key, and then he's going to put the message that whether it may be 2 bitcoins or a 5 bitcoins, whatever it may be. Okay, so he's going to put the message that how many bitcoins it would be, and then finally that sender is going to digitally sign it. Okay, the sender who is present, right, the sender will go ahead and try to digitally sign it. So once this process is completed, digitally sign it means signature will be in an encrypted pattern. Okay, so the sender is going to enter into his account with his private key, and then he's going to put his message like what should be the message, and then the sender is going to digitally sign it. At the other end, the receiver who is present, who is going to receive the money, right? Receiver will be able to see the public key of the sender, the message what the sender has sent, and then the signature which is digitally encrypted. So receiver will only be able to see these things, like that is your public key, your message, and then your signature. That's it. Okay. Now if the receiver will, if the receiver will be able to see the private key, right, then the entire security will be lapsed. So here the point is, sender will enter into his account with his private key, and then he will put the message, and then he is going to digitally sign it. Then at the other end, the receiver who is present, receiver will get the public key of the sender, the message of the sender, and then the digital signature of the sender. So then the receiver will going to verify that whether he is the right person or not. If he is the right person, then yes, that transaction will be settled. But if he is a wrong type of a person, if it is a malicious transaction, then the receiver can reject the transaction. Okay. So that is an important point which we actually need to understand here. Okay. So when we just go ahead and try to consider it, right? Okay, this is the important point which we need to consider. So these are certain keys which are being present over here, like that is your public key, private key. Public key can be shared with anyone. Okay, private key is actually a secret which should not be shared with anyone. It should always be with you. Message is something like how much amount of money you want to send, you can put it over there. Signature is nothing but which has been digitally encrypted, and the receiver can verify that whether the public key, message, and signature is appropriate or not. If it is, then yes. Okay, otherwise it will not be accepted. Okay, so this is an important point which you actually need to consider. Okay, this is all your public and private key, and if you want to create it on your own practically, then what you can do here is, let me just go and try to make you do it over here. If you want to create the public and private key on your own, see here, there is a bitaddress.org. This is the platform like where you can create your own public and private key. So if I move my mouse continuously, you can observe that the whatever the percentage is present here, it is increasing. So using some brute force, I am trying to create the public and private key. See here. Okay, so I have generated the public key. Share means this can be shared with anyone. Towards the left hand side, this can be shared with anyone, and towards the right hand side where you see it, right, this is your private key, which is basically secret. Okay, so if you could observe in this case, okay, so this is your private key which should not be shared with anyone. Right now as we are on the screen share, you can see this, but if you can create on your own, nobody would be able to see your private key. And if you want to print it, you can just click on print, and then you can save it. You can also call this as your paper wallet. Paper wallet means you have to be very much careful. You are nowhere connected to internet, because you will download this paper and you will put it with you. But make sure that this paper is not been going to any wrong hands. If it goes to the wrong hands, right, it will create a problem again. Okay, so make sure that your private key is confidential, and at the same time your public key which is present can be shared with anyone. Okay, this is one such way, like where you can create your own public and private keys whenever you want it. Okay, and one more important thing which I just want to make you understand here is, as I said you, right, okay, bitminter.com. okay, this is your bitminter.com. If you remember, I said people used to use CPUs at one point of time, that is from the year 2009 to 2012. People used to do mining with just bitminter.com. Like what they used to do. Right now it is not working. As I have already said, the competition has increased, the computation power has increased to the lot. Okay, so right now people are not doing the mining with this. They are doing it with ASIC if it is for Bitcoin, and if it is for Ethereum, then it is your GPU. Okay, but as of now, the bitminter.com, which is being present here, right, this is being shut down. But at one point of time, this actually played a very vital role. People used to go to this bitminter.com and they used to do the mining for the Bitcoin, especially from the year 2009 to 12. So just want to show you that how it actually used to be. Okay, now if you let me see here, the buy Bitcoin worldwide. So whenever if you want to buy any Bitcoins on your own, then what you can do is you can just choose in which country you have been situated in. So I am situated in India, so I will select India, and I'll select the payment method with which I want to pay I want to purchase some bitcoins. So I would say credit card. So in that case, you have only Coin Mama being present in our country. So like where you can use this Coin Mama and purchase bitcoins by accepting the credit card in our country. So you can also see what are some pros by using the Coin Mama, and what is one of the disadvantage with the Coin Mama. Okay, and then if you want to invest in this Coin Mama, this is a wallet. Coin Mama is a wallet. Wallet is a place like where you will be able to store your cryptocurrency. It may be Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, any cryptocurrency it may be. You can store those cryptocurrencies in your wallet, and your wallet will be responsible for you to create your own public and private keys. Public and private keys can be created by the wallet, and the wallet is responsible for storing your entire Bitcoin transactions, or it may be any cryptocurrency transactions. Okay, so for example, if I just click on the Coin Mama, so you can observe that it will be redirecting you to the Coin Mama site here. Okay, this is my Coin Mama site. Like this is a wallet. Okay, you can just go through it, and if you want, you can also sign up. First step is you need to sign up. You need to provide your email password, and then you have to set up your own account. Okay, that's how you can create your Coin Mama wallet. And for example, if I change my payment method, and let's see what's going to happen. Instead of credit card, if I just go ahead and put my debit card, even then also it's only the Coin Mama which is being present. Okay, now let me say instead of credit and debit card, I want to pay cash and I want to get. Then in that case, we have ATM, Bitcoin ATMs. These are the two services which are being available. Okay, and if there are any other thing like bank transfer or something like that, so even that also I can just find out here. There's a bank transfer. If you want to go to bank and then try to transfer some amount of money, and if you want to get bitcoins, then there are wallets like Vazirex, Coin Mama, Unocoin, ATM. Okay, these are the wallet services which are been available for you. So whenever if you want, you can just have a look into it, so that based on your payment method and in the country where you've been situated, you can just go ahead and try to use it. Okay, and even there is also one more wallet called as a blockchain wallet. Okay, there is a blockchainwallet.com. So you can use the blockchainwallet.com and you can create your own account by just providing your Gmail ID. Just you need to sign up here. This is how your wallet looks like basically. Okay, your wallet not only provides a service related to Bitcoin, it also provides the services like, if I would say, Ethereum, Litecoin, Stellar, Cardano, like all these services a wallet will provide. When you create a wallet, it does not mean that for every cryptocurrency you need to create a different wallet. No, one wallet itself will be sufficient, like where it will provide the services to other cryptocurrencies which are being present in the world. So if you observe here, this is how the wallet looks like. If you want to buy the Bitcoin at any point of time, you can just click on buy Bitcoin button over here. Okay, you just need to make sure that your data is being verified, and then you can go ahead and try to purchase it. You just need to upgrade your account. So here, by just clicking it on buy button, right, you can buy some Bitcoins directly from this wallet. If you want to send it to someone else, at the top, you just need to send the crypto. I want to send some amount of Bitcoins. Okay, so it's asking me to whom you want to send. So you need to put that other person's public key. You just need to put it over here, and then you need to put how many Bitcoins you want to send, like 0.01, just for an example, and click on continue. As of now, continue will not work. The reason here is because I didn't put any public key because I don't have it. But generally, when you want to do, just click on send Bitcoin, put the other person's address and how much amount of Bitcoins you want to send. You can just put it and just click on the continue button, and you would be able to see that the entire money would be transferred to the other person. Okay, now if you want to receive, then what you can do, you can just click on receive. This is my account, so you can just share this public key. For example, if someone wants to transfer money to me, then I can share them directly this address, or otherwise this barcode, so that they can scan this barcode and then they can transfer the money directly to me. These days you see that Paytm and PhonePe, they have a barcode directly in their merchant shops. If you are also a merchant, you can just take a copy of this and you can put it, and you can say bitcoins are also accepted, and anyone who wants to pay the bitcoins, they can pay, and the money will automatically be credited into your blockchain wallet. Okay, my balance as of now is 0. If there are any balance, you would be able to see it over here. Okay, this is how you actually need to make sure that whenever if you want to send or receive, you can do it. Trading is nothing but again it's the same thing. Whenever you want to buy or a sell, swap means, let me say if you have some bitcoins and if you want to swap that to Ethereum, that facility is also been provided. And finally, if you want to deposit that money, Bitcoin, converting that into a local currency or fiat currency, right? You can also do that. And if you want to withdraw also, it's up to you. Like you can also withdraw from your account. By first, you need to convert that into your local currency. Let me say I have 1 Bitcoin. You have to convert that into INR, Indian rupee. And then it's up to you that whether you want to leave it in your account or you want to withdraw. It's all up to you. So that's how you can also make sure that your trading can be done. This is your send receive option. You can buy the Bitcoin, and at the same time, you can also swap whenever if you require it. Okay, and if you want to observe, if you want to do some trading, so you can observe it from coinmarketcap.com. Okay, so let me just go to coinmarketcap. Okay, and just want to show you that this is the last one for today. Okay, the coinmarketcap.com, which is present here, right? So this is your coinmarketcap.com. If you just scroll it down here, so here if you could observe, it will list, like if you know about Sensex and Nifty, it will list like top 50 companies, like who is having the most valuable shares and all. In the same way here also, you would only be able to see top 100 cryptocurrencies which are performing better. So first says Bitcoin, and if you gradually go ahead and try to scroll it down, right, you will be able to see the top 100. Okay, so if I just go ahead and make you understand here, these are your top 100 which are being present. You will be able to see a lot of cryptocurrencies which are being present. You can see like in the last 24 hours how it behaved, in the last 7 days how it is behaving, what is the market price of this currency. Okay, and if you observe the trend of it, like whether it is falling down and then it went up and then again it fell down. So all the trends and everything you can observe it from here. Okay, for different cryptocurrencies. Okay, so for Ethereum, Bitcoin in the last 24 hours, it was down 3.18%. Now in the last 7 days, it was down 6.47%. So if you see, gradually it went up in the trend for the last 7 days, it fell down. Okay, and then gradually it was constant for some time, and again it went up, it was constant, and now again it fell down, and slowly it is moving up. So in this way, you can observe the trend of each and every cryptocurrency, like how it is been behaving and what are certain things which we can see from here. So if you could see at the top, as of now, how many? There are 19,146 cryptocurrencies are available. Using the blockchain technology, there are almost 19,146 cryptocurrencies which have been there. There are 512 exchanges which have been present. And in the market, if you see the dominance, okay, the dominance in the market, if you could observe, Bitcoin is having 41.3% dominance and Ethereum is having 19.4% dominance. Rest of all the things are not there, even though they are being the cryptocurrencies, but they are not so popular as Bitcoin and Ethereum, which are being present in the market. Okay, this is also one more important point which you need to consider. So these are all the important points which I just want to make sure that every one of you are aware of. Okay, so this is what I just want to make sure that you are understanding all these important points. Okay, so okay, fine. I hope that I've given you a clarity, and I hope that you all also have understood like whatever concepts I've explained to you all today. So what I would do right now in this case is, like, if there are any questions or if there are any anything which you want to ask me, I'll go ahead and try to help you all out in a better way. Okay, and if you want to connect with me at any point of time, so you can just go ahead and try to connect with me in the LinkedIn. Okay, so over the LinkedIn at any point of time if you want, so you can just go ahead and try to connect. Okay, so you will be able to find out me. Yeah, this is my profile. Okay, So you can just go ahead and try to connect with me over here if you want to get to know any information or any details related to this technology and all. So this is me. You can just go ahead and try to click my name in the LinkedIn and you can connect with me. And if you want anything which you want to ask me, definitely I'll try to help you all out with. Okay. So yep, that's it. So that's it with me, and I will hand it over to sir. But before I'll hand it over, right, I'll take around 2 to 3 minutes to see if there are any questions from anyone, and after which I'll just hand it over. Okay, I have a direct message, so maybe most of you may not be able to see it. So there are some questions. How much computing power? I have already answered it. So let's say the number of minor decreases. Is there any chance the problem will also get easy? Absolutely. It's all about the number of minors only, Kiran. Shri, okay, Shri. It's all about, like, if I would say that if the number of minors reduces, right? Obviously, the competition would also reduce. Okay, in that way it would be very much helpful, and the process will understand it. The number got decreased, so the mining competition which is been present, right, even that would also be reduced. So can we increase the Bitcoin in the Bitcoin software? No, that provision is not there. We can't increase the Bitcoins. Only 21 million Bitcoins are there, and it has to work as per the halving mechanism. So there is no other option left. So let's say every Bitcoin was minted, what will happen after? As I mentioned, they will only be dependent on the transaction fee. That's it. They don't have any other option left. So why Bitcoin has the highest market value? Supply and demand. Simple, right? It's all about the supply and demand which is being present. Okay, so if you could observe here in this case, right, so this is the supply and demand which is actually required. So based on, see, when many people are interested towards buying this Bitcoins, and if everyone is interested towards it, so obviously the market value would also be high. Okay, so that is also very important point which we need to consider. That is the reason it is having a highest market value, and on top of that, it is also the first application of the blockchain technology. Okay, so which is also, that is the reason why this is also said to be very much popular. Okay, so mining process is just like gambling, isn't it, sir? Yeah, it's a sort of like that only, like where everyone will be gathered, and it's like a gambling only, like where someone needs to find out that number and he has to make sure that that number is right, and definitely that person will be declared as a winner. So it's more of like that only. Okay, is a MetaMask or Ronin are also wallet? Yeah, they are. MetaMask is a wallet for sure. Yeah, that is also a wallet only. So if you observe here, okay, if I just click on my, this is, I have already my MetaMask wallet here. This is also a wallet, like where wallet is just meant for buying, sending, that's it. That is the only purpose of it. This is how your MetaMask wallet would also look like. Okay, can we use it in a secure multi-party computation? Yes, we can use it, because at the back end, what happens is, Soman, like you can see that everything will be present inside the blockchain only, so that itself will be secure enough. What is difference between symmetric and asymmetric cryptography? Symmetric means you'll have only one key for both encryption and decryption. Asymmetric cryptography, now whatever the public and private key which I explained to you right now, Manish, right? Asymmetric cryptography means it will have both the keys, like public key and private key. That is an asymmetric cryptography. So you will be ensuring that you are using both the keys. Now, whereas in symmetric, you'll have only one key, and that one key will be used for both encryption and decryption, and it is not safe. If one key gets compromised at any point of time, the entire mechanism will fail. That is the reason why in blockchain we use asymmetric cryptography, like where we have both public and private keys being present. Okay, public and private keys and asymmetric cryptography. So the number that is generated by Bitcoin software is not found by miners. The number, okay, no, definitely they have to find out. That is the reason why they take 10 minutes. Okay, even if it is more than 10 minutes also, they have to find out. Until then, they have to keep on doing. There is no other option. Okay, so definitely the number which is being present, actually in the world right now, there was no such scenario like where they didn't find out, because the computation power is so high that within a minute they will definitely try to find out. But if, as you have asked me this question, if there is any time in future that they have not found out the number, the process will keep on be going until the number is found out. Okay, there is no other alternative. Any other questions? I have answered all the questions till now, whatever we've been asked. Okay, when Bitcoin will be lost in 2040, then what will be happen? First of all, it's not 2040, it is 2140, 2140. What did I say? Bitcoin will not be lost. Bitcoin will be present in the market in the form of circulation. Okay, Bitcoins will be circulated in the market. By that time, all the 21 million Bitcoins will be circulated in the market. Okay, then we have to think that how the miners are going to survive. They are going to survive only on the transaction fee. Okay, there are total 21 million Bitcoins in the software, right? By this time, already 18 million Bitcoins have actually come up. Okay, now there are still 3 million Bitcoins that will be completed by 2140. Now, by 2140, you see that the entire 21 million Bitcoins are not in software right now. They have been totally circulated in the market altogether. Okay, so they would be used. That is my point, which I'm trying to let you know. After which, miners are going to survive only on the transaction fee, which the persons who are trying to transfer some amount of money, right, they can pay to the miners for their efforts. We can use it in secure multi-party computation also. We can use it. Okay. Any other questions from anyone before I hand it over to Ali sir or Nidhi ma'am?
Guys, if you have any question, you can write the question in chat box. Otherwise, we will wind up this session. I think, sir, there is no question. So thank you so much, Sahu sir, for accepting our invitation, and really both the sessions were very nice, and you presented in a very well manner. So hope so all the participants will get the benefit. Thank you, Prashant Sahu sir. You may leave now.
Thank you, sir. Yeah, thanks to all the participants too, and thank you, Ali sir, for you. Thank you. Bye-bye, everyone.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
So now I will hand over this session to Dr. Gupta ma'am. Madam, you can proceed.
No, sir, you can continue. It's just a last session, so you may continue.
Okay. So before going to end this session, let us say the vote of thanks to everyone. Thank you so much, all the participants, because without participants, this workshop is not possible. And special thanks to all the team of CIMAGE Group Institution of Patna for making this all the sessions successful through the Zoom meeting. And a special thank to Amit Sukla sir and Neeraj sir and Murli sir. And once again, I will also like to thank our head of the department, convener, Dr. Pavan Kumar Sharma, and a special thanks to coordinator Dr. Gupta ji for completing this workshop. And before going to end this session, I will. There is a small announcement actually. After this end this session, I will share one feedback form. Okay, so please spare a 1 minute. Okay, those who have registered actually for this workshop, for them it is mandatory actually, because without getting the feedback form, we are unable to provide the certificate, because your feedback form will checked by our higher authority, so that we will provide the feedback form or certificate to you. So if you have any suggestion, you can fill in that feedback form, or else if you have any doubt or question related to this e-workshop, you can write in a chat box, so that actually the attendance will consider as a feedback form itself. Actually, I'll share now. Actually, after this end this session, I will share a feedback form. So that feedback form itself is a attendance for the 2 days. Actually. Okay. So I'll share it now. Actually, after this session. Thank you all. So
that feedback form is mandatory for the certificate. Okay. So everyone, I hope you are getting.
So Neeraj sir, thank you so much once again. So we should end this meeting now. Neeraj sir, are you there?
Yes, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you actually for cooperating us. Actually, without your support, this workshop is not actually success. So thank you so
very
much
much,
for
sir.
grand
It's
success this
very, very
workshop. Thank you so
attractive,
much,
sir.
sir. Really thank you. And I have a one request actually, please share all the videos which you have recorded actually
Okay, sir.
for all the sessions so that I will share to all the participants.
Okay, sir.
And I will get all the PPTs from all the speakers and I will share all the PPTs to all the participants who have joined in this workshop. Thank you so much. Thank you.